Hello and welcome to National Assembly Watch. I'm Esther Work. The House of Representatives on Tuesday has mandated the Committee on Banking Regulations to investigate the use of the United States dollar and other foreign currencies as legal tender for domestic transactions in Nigeria. This was as it's called on the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to address the impact of the failing naira against the dollar and other currencies. The House urged the CBN to implement monetary policy adjustments to stabilize the currency, address speculative activities in the forex market, and increase the withdrawal limit of the naira to reduce the pressure on dollars and other foreign currencies. It also urged the federal government to formulate policies and structural reforms to reduce corruption and promote economic diversification within the nation's economy. The House further urged the federal government to promote exportation and reduce importation by enhancing foreign investors' confidence on its fiscal and monetary policies. It mandated the Committees on Banking Regulations and National Security and Intelligence to interface with the Central Bank of Nigeria with the purpose of initiating compliance strategies. The House noted that in June 2023, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, announced changes to the country's foreign exchange market. It also noted that the president's intention to allow market forces to determine naira's value, but the alarming exchange rate has impacted Nigeria's economy, causing untold hardship due to increased demand for dollar and a dollar shortage. The House stated that Nigerians' foreign exchange inflows are lagging despite unification in June, with high demand for foreign currency and limited access to official markets, incentivizing black market purchases. The House stated the naira has lost a greater percent of its value against dollar, falling from 778 naira as of September 2023 and nearly 1,000 naira per dollar at the parallel market. The House stated that this makes it the first time Nigeria has liberalized the foreign exchange market. The Minister of Interior stated that statistics indicate that no fewer than 99,985 Nigerian students left the country to enroll in universities in the United Kingdom between 2017 and 2022. Dr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo disclosed this at the opening ceremony at the 2023 University of Lagos International Week on Monday in Lagos. The theme of the International Week was Breaking the Borders of Partnership. According to the Higher Education Statistics Agency, reports have shown that 99,985 Nigerian students left the country to enroll in universities in the United Kingdom between 2017 and 2022. The minister stated the ministry had commenced the automation of end-to-end passport application process and had given a timeline from which Nigerians would begin to experience the sweet experience. Tunji Ojo also noted that the theme of the event reminded citizens that the challenges faced as a people were not confined by geographical boundaries. He also stated that whether it was addressing promoting global health, ensuring peace and security, or fostering economic prosperity, the world was more interconnected than ever before. The President of the Senate has called for deeper collaboration between Nigeria and the United States. Cosby Akpabio made the call on Tuesday in Abuja while addressing a delegation from the American Embassy in Nigeria led by the Charge d'Affaires by David Green. Akpabio noted the role of the United States in entrenching democracy and democratic values across the world, acknowledging that this task sometimes required Americans to pay the ultimate price. He also urged the American government not to not to get tired in its role as big brother, because the world needs a guiding hand from its oldest democracy. The visit ended with exchange of souvenirs by the host and visitors. The Senate has mandated its Committee on Petroleum Resources, Upstream and Downstream, Gas Host Committees, and Niger Delta to conduct investigation on oil theft in the region. It specifically mandated the committees to investigate the actions of securities forces, militia groups, local populace, all company employees, and any individuals or entities suspected to be using sophisticated methods to pilfer oil facilities within the country. The resolution was sequel to adoption of a motion at plenary on Tuesday on urgent need to investigate incessant and nefarious acts of crude oil theft in Niger Delta region. Nwankwo, in his lead debate, stated that Nigeria was largely dependent on crude oil for its economic growth and development. He also stated that the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) reported that oil sector contributed 6.33% of the nation's GDP, which translated to $45.6 billion in 2022. Nwankwo stated that the oil sector in Nigeria plays a pivotal role in providing employment opportunities for millions of Nigerian citizens, accounting for 70% of its budget finances, while oil and gas made up for 90% of exports and 85% of government revenue in the first quarter of 2022. He also stated statistical data which has been reported over the years indicated that pipeline vandalism, oil bunkering, has brought Nigeria into serious economic crisis. The senator also stated current collaborative efforts involving joint task force of the military, with contributions from various security entities, state and local governments, and international oil companies in the Niger Delta region, has yielded positive results. He also stated the effort has led to an increase in oil production, reaching 1.51 million barrels per day in first quarter 2023. The Senate has expressed worry over the growing spate of violent attacks by non-state actors on defenseless citizens across the nation, especially in Niger State. Despite huge investment in terms of budgetary allocations and legislative support for the security services, it also stressed the need for the federal government to deploy additional troops to communities in Niger State currently under siege by bandits. This followed a motion titled Urgent Need for Federal Government to Deploy Troops and Other Security Apparatus to immediately bring an end to the menace of insurgency and terrorism in Niger State and other parts of Nigeria. This was sponsored by Senator Sani Musa, APC, Niger East. The Senate noted that it had passed several resolutions, set up an ad hoc committee on security, held National Security Summit, and declared every support at bringing an end to the persistent security in our nation. It have appropriated monies and also advanced numerous steps to support our nation's security agencies. Insecurity has continued to elude the nation. Senator Musa also noted that for the past 7 years now, the Niger East Senatorial District of Niger State have been under consistent and sustained. The Senate has expressed worry over the growing spate of violent attacks by non-state actors on defenseless citizens across the nation, especially in Niger State. Despite huge investment in terms of budgetary allocations and legislative support for the security service, the Senate has expressed worry over the growing spate of violent attacks by non-state actors on defenseless citizens across the nation, especially in Niger State. Despite huge investment in terms of budgetary allocations and legislative support for the security services, it also stressed the need for federal government to deploy additional troops to communities in Niger State currently under siege by bandits. This followed a motion titled Urgent Need for Federal Government to Deploy Troops and Other Security Apparatus to Immediately Bring an End to the Menace of Insurgency and Terrorism in Niger State and other parts of Nigeria, sponsored by Senator Sani Musa of APC, Niger State. The Senate noted that it had passed several resolutions, set up an ad hoc committee on security, held national security summits, and declared every support at bringing an end to the persistent insecurity in our nation, have appropriated monies and also advanced numerous steps to support our nation's security agencies. Despite all of these insecurities that continue to elude the nation. Senator Musa also noted that for the past 7 years, the Niger State Senatorial District of Niger State have been under constant and sustained multiple deadly attacks by athlete venomous and Hydra-headed Boko Haram terrorists who are always heavily armed with assaulted, sophisticated, and dangerous weapons, unleashing their horror on our innocent populace. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the death of Dr. Michael Umar, a personnel at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LOTE, who died on duty. The resolution was sequel to unanimous adoption of a motion by Rep. Adebayo Adesola of APC Lagos State at plenary on Tuesday. Moving the motion, Adesola stated that the importance of medical personnel as the fulcrum of the healthcare delivery system could not be overemphasized. He recalled that on September 17th, Umar, a medical officer on residency program in the LOTH, reportedly died after spending 72 hours on duty in the neurosurgery unit of the institution. According to him, there's a recent related incident of a young female medical doctor who lost her life due to elevator failure in a general hospital, which could have been avoided with improved working conditions. In his ruling, the Deputy Speaker, Rep. Benjamin Kalu, mandated the committees on health institutions and labor and employment institutions to carry out the investigation and report back within 6 weeks. He stated that the aim was to ensure that medical personnel in Nigeria work under favorable conditions. The House observed a minute of silence in honor of the deceased doctors. Just in, House of Representative member Jelani Dambuka is dead. Abdulkadir Jelani Dambuka, House of Representative member of Federal Constituency in Sokoto State, died on Wednesday after a brief illness. The All Progressive Congress APC member was said to have been admitted to hospital on Tuesday. The lawmaker will be buried at 11 a.m. in Sokoto State. Dambuka is survived by 2 wives and many children and grandchildren. That's all on National Assembly Watch on VOP TV. We would like you to subscribe and engage us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV, and on all the social media channels at VOP TV Live. I'm Esther Uwak.